telling you that I want to ask you something very pertinent, which is something that happens quite a lot. You're even telling me, whereby this lady gets into a relationship with this man, and then maybe they have older kids, and then there's a romantic attraction that develops between, you know, maybe the daughter and then this new father, or the son and this new mother, and it becomes a full-blown relationship. Yeah. In a new relationship.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
So how does one navigate that at the end of the day?
Sometimes I wonder, do you navigate or do you leave? Because what happens, you know, number one, that's a man you're not supposed to be with. Let's start from there. That's a man you're not supposed to be with. And because of stigma, because of the society, because of perhaps what you've gone through, a lot of families are quiet with such issues in their hearts, and they're wounded, very, very wounded, but because of the society. You know, we do a lot because of society, and I think that there's a new vibe that has come with the Gen Z. Yes, they have their respect, but they don't fear the society. Yeah. As at our times, what as a manini. Yeah, and I think we need to embrace, and that's why I'm saying they've taught me a lot of things. The Gen Z, they have taught me a lot of good things, yeah. I think we need also to get a metamorphosis. And I thought one of the metamorphoses that should happen, because that happens in a lot of relationships. Yeah. The minute this man begins to eye your daughter in a manner likely to suggest, call it quits. Just call it quits. Because I've sat with so many such cases. And when I ask the mother, why did you allow this to happen? They say it's because, you know, I had just left another marriage. People are going to think I'm a failure. And then most of them will blame the daughter. She must be the one seducing the man. The girl was just wearing her shorts that you bought for her, and you trained her to wear this way. And so the man sees the wife in a younger version. And now the animal in him, because that is not right, the animal in him now arises and thinks, wow, this is an easier catch. And most of these girls try to communicate to the mom. Yeah. And most mothers are in denial. A lot of sons have been molested. A lot of sons have been sexually molested. And when they try to communicate, even with an uncle, they are told, sasa hizi umejifunza wapi? I think we need to be good listeners, and we've got to trust and believe in our children and in the processes they go through. Yes, my child could be going through this, so the first person I'm to defend. Take it or leave it. It is my child. And then this husband, because I've come with this child, I need to protect, and you know, as parents, whether it's a father who has come with a daughter or a son, or a mother who has come in with children, number one, we've got to ensure, as much as they're going to blend together, and you know, blending is not a one-day thing, it's a journey. As a journey begins, make sure you tell your child to keep their lines open with you, so that in case anything happens that's above the norm, no punishment, not because they've not done their homework and so they've been denied a right, like going out to play now, mommy, you know, this man you brought has denied me to. No, 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 no. That punishment and punitive measures, that one is discussed by both. But anything that regards proximity, how close is he with you, or is she with you? Is this person touching you? And you need to tell them early. Don't allow anybody to touch you. Don't shower in front of anybody. Even if they buy you a new dress, don't dress it while they're there. These are things you need to do and protect your child. If your child comes and tells you, you know what, this new daddy came and wanted to bathe me, this girl is 10 years, hey, my friend, that's a red flag. Tell him, no, this should not happen, should never happen, and cannot happen.
Right. You know, Jane, one of the biggest aspects to this conversation, and I've had so many people say, is when you're from such relationships, even whether it's a divorce, it's a death, you're a widow, widower, you know, however the dynamic is, you need to work on yourself. Because when you go into a relationship and you're half-baked in different emotions and the like, then you will definitely pass that on in a very, you know, troublesome way to your children and the next partner, like you mentioned. But that is not what we get on the ground. We get something completely opposite. So at the end of the day, we have children who feel that they cannot listen to their parents, and I mean in blended in families and the like, and they're very defiant because they say that there is nothing to emulate from, you know, their parent. There's nothing that they're not for them. They're always thinking about how to please this new partner that came, you know, they put themselves on a back banner, and all they want to do is please Michael, or Michael wants to please Rachel, for that matter. And the children are so, like you said, they're so lost. So how do you get these young people to gain your trust and respect, especially when you remove yourself from the equation and focus on a relationship? Because they say that's all that matters these days. It's like there's nothing more to strive to, aspire to, purpose, dreams, nothing, just relationship.
I will say one thing. As much as you create time for each other, it's good to understand that every child has a love language. And when you meet that child's love language, you meet that child's need. There are some children, and let me first say this, all the children in the world have got one common love language, and they spell love in 4 letters, T-I-M-E, time. The amount of quality time you spend with that child. And I tell parents this, don't go with your children for lunch while you're on your phone and your children are on their phone. Put the phones aside and have a conversation. How are we doing in this marriage? Then have a conversation, all of you. So for you to succeed, it has to be intentional, Remy. It has to be very, very intentional. Number one, as a parent, assuming Rachel got married with her children and Jimmy had his children, once in a while Rachel should take Jimmy's children out. Listen to them, understand them, want to know what is your love language, because it's so easy to define that. Is it time? Is it gifts? But you know, gifts can be very manipulative, because most of the parents will buy their children very big phone, everything you need, but they're not there. So, and do you know the answer will boil to what? All these things are okay, acts of service. Those ones are done by the house help and whoever else. But what they need is your presence. Be a present parent. Not just your physical presence, but your emotional presence.
Okay. Now, hold on just a bit, Jane. Right, so I have my colleague Ian Keitani at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and he is welcome, or basically he is there to receive the sensational, amazing singer Etana. As you can see on your screens right there, she's coming to be, of course, performing right here in Kenya. You know her for her various hits. This young lady is 40 years old and still in the scene and doing it as bigger and bigger for that matter. So there you go. That is Etana in the country, Jamaican sensational singer. There she is.
Kenya Wagwan, I'm happy to be here. When you're ready for the part of turn up and bump, people like the fire red. Kenya, you ready? I'm the richest girl. So tell me, you got any questions for me? Tell me.
Blessings. My name is Mali from Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. You've been here for a couple of times now, maybe, and also you are at El Salvador in Brazil and also in London. You've been touring. What exactly should Kenyan expect for you now?
Well, my last time was 2021.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to bring new music,
Yeah.
a fire lit show,
Yeah.
and just pure excitement. I'm ready to sing with
Yeah.
Kenya again. I never say sing for, I say sing with Kenya again.
Okay. Fantastic.
Etana, this is not your first time coming to Kenya. What is that one thing that you always look forward to when coming to Kenya?
Oh my gosh. Well, first, meeting the people. All of you here.
Yeah.
Second, going to the hotel where they make the coffee with the little heart. And then being on the stage and singing with the people that gonna go on real bad.
And talking of singing with Kenyans while you're on stage, what is that unique thing about the Kenyan fan base? You are one person who has traveled across the world, but there's that one thing about the Kenyan fan base. What is it?
The vibes, the love for reggae music, and the way they sing to me. The way Kenyan people sing to me. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
no matter where I go in the world, there is always a Kenyan or a Kenyan group of people in my venue, no matter where I am.
Yeah, talking about that, I saw you in your previous show. You had a Kenyan flag, yeah.
Yeah.
And you've already shown into the world like Kenya is a place where to be. For the people who are waiting for you on Saturday, you have so much energy on your stage. What else should they expect?
Pure excitement.
Pure excellence.
Pure excitement. I'm gonna sing every song they know.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah.
Last time I did 2 hours on the stage. 2 hours and some. And when I came off the stage, somebody said to me, I thought you were done. And then you did another one. And then I said, that's the one.
Yeah.
And then that's not the one because you did another one.
Yeah.
yeah, it's I'm gonna be on the stage for a while.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it.
And talking of your performance, what should Kenyans expect? Are there any surprises that we should be looking forward to?
Oh, well, a surprise wouldn't be a surprise if I tell you.
You can give us a hint, though. Should we expect a surprise?
It's for the audience.
They should come and find out.
It's for the audience, really.
Yeah.
So if they come, when they're there, especially at the front,
Yeah.
in reach, they will see.
All right,
For
make
the people
sure.
watching right now, maybe you can just finalize this. 100 on the highway. I'm picking no calls.
Going 100 on the highway. I ain't taking no calls on my struggles in the rearview mirror. You ain't going my way. You can get off. Let me turn up and let the music play.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
Well, there you go. That is the one and only Etana in Kenya performing on the December, of course, this December, that for that matter, on the 7th, for sure. And she'll be performing at the Dome on Gong Road. And of course, she's a very loved and beloved singer. She is someone that, of course, many people love, and she has a great fan base right here in Kenya. You know, some of her background comes from, being a background singer of Richie Spice. Of course, you guys know Richie Spice. And we'll be having more of this conversation with her. This interview will be happening right here, on K24 TV. So keep it locked. And of course, you'll be seeing Etana live straight from here. She'll be telling us what she's been up to, what she's been doing. And of course, she's here to captivate us with her talent and her music. Right, so Jane, let's get back into the conversation. For that matter, you're speaking about how it is so important to have quality time with these children and make sure that we understand what they want, as opposed to just us putting our agenda forward, as parents, or focusing on the relationship and not building with the children or buying them gifts, and not focusing on what they really want and need. But also, let's take a look at when someone is considering, now when they're single, let's go back to when they're single, and then they want to, just get into a relationship. People have a lot of demands which others say are very unrealistic. You know, others say, you know, people come from different backgrounds. Others may, like you said, have never been married and they have children. Some ladies and some men, the same. You know, but most of the time they say, when I want to get married to this lady, she must have my kid, you know, so that we can live together. This lady is like, I don't want to have any more children. And then they're just this, you know, push and pull demands, and there's so much ego and there's so much ask. So where does one compromise, especially when they're both coming with luggage or baggage, because they're people, they've lived, they're adults, but they want to get into relationships and they just can't seem to compromise?
Now, in the first place, if they can't seem to compromise, two can't talk together unless they agree. There's a dimension of lack of compromise that makes you realize we will not go far. There are basic situational dysfunctions that makes you realize these cannot work.
Right.
For example, a man insists you need to get 3 more children, and you knew you're ready for 1 or 2, or just 1, you already have 3, he has 3, those are 6, and you're looking at, you know, the finances and everything, and you think perhaps you can have 1 to bond as he wants. There are things that will make you, and let me insist on this. When somebody has lost a love, either divorce, separation, whichever the method, rejection, or you rejected them, or perhaps even death, sorry to say, most people feel like, I need a replacement. Never get a person for a replacement. Get a person for who they are. And that means not every person who comes your way has to get a yes. Even you give yourself the value to vet. And at times people lose the value to vet. You feel like, oh, with my age, whoever comes, nitaosha. Wacha akuje nitaosha. By the time you realize hawezi ukamuosha, whatever you're supposed to kuosha, it is stuck.
Ni kumosha kumtengeneza vile unataka kwe.
Na mwingine anasema pia nami nitamuosha. No. You've got to meet the person you know, at least to agree this percent. The other percent, everybody has their opinion. Neither do you even want to get married to a robot that you can be telling yes, no. But at least never get married to a person who you want to mold and make. Because many times, how many times do you think, okay, I don't like the way he's talking. I don't like the way she responds to people. I don't like this. And the list of I don't like is longer than the list of what you like. But keep thinking, it's okay, I'll cope with that. That compromise, you've got to ask yourself, what I'm compromising with, will it hurt me in my tomorrow? If a man doesn't love children, says, you know, me only love daughters, and you've got a son in the midst, that already is a red flag. So I say one thing, look at the percentage that you agree and the percentage that you do not agree. Kabisa, kama the greater part of you don't agree, just call it quit. Let Providence give you another person. Now, when it comes to a person that you tend to agree, the larger scale, but there are issues, because always you'll have an issue where you don't, because you know what, you're not twins. Even joint twins have got their own separate kind of a lifestyle. You need to respect the difference. There is a point at which you respect the difference. And you say, this is you, this is me. The new form grounds where we say, either I cannot handle this, so this is a gray area. A gray area is an area we'll not keep discussing. Because that one is tutalipuka, just leave it. That's a gray area. But then there are areas of compromise. Let me give you an example. Somebody says, you know, I can only eat dinner at 6:30. And that's how I've trained my body. And according to their schedules of work, yes, they're at home before 6:30. But the other partner they're getting married to and the children know they eat dinner at 9. Do you know the things that bring disparity are very small? Not really the big things, they're small foxes. They eat dinner at 9. So what happens to this family? Will they eat alone at 6:30? And the others wait for 9 to eat alone No, that's where now compromise comes in. In compromise, I will take 2 steps back, you will take 2 steps forward, then let's meet at around 7:30 or 8. There are changes. Life is dynamic. The dynamism of life means I've got to keep changing, and that's what brings growth. So when you come in with your children, explain to them, they eat at 9, we eat at 6:30, unless there's a small baby who has to be fed early, let's just wait for 7:30 so that you can have the dinner together. That is an example. We've got some families who perhaps would say, Sunday afternoon we used to go for swimming. The other family says Sunday afternoon is a time now we all do leisure, and I do ABCD. Perhaps for us, we like visiting our families. Our parents expect us then. That in comes a compromise. Anytime, Remy, 2 people are coming together in any kind of a relationship, there's got a let go and let go and let embrace. So let go of these, and we say, okay, 2 times a month we go with you for swimming. Then 2 times let's go visiting, and now you begin to form mutual friends.
But what about when it comes to aspects like religion and culture? That's another thing that really bothers people, you know? Like, you like this person, they are from a different religion other than yours, and then there's this push and pull. But you've made your decision, so how?
But you see, by the time you're making your decision, some of the factors that should govern your decision should not be made, it should be governed by factors like religion. That's not a decision, it's a governing factor. A lot of people when they're dating, they feel like, it's okay, I'll compromise, you this, you that. Do you know, people have got big issues with small things. Like, they could be the same religion, they're Christians. Somebody says, I don't like going to this. These are things you need to agree upon early. If you're in the same religion but different kinds of groupings, like for example a different church, then one you can have that conversation early. But if as a Christian you're getting married to a Hindu, each one of you respecting your religions, one of you will have to because at times they say the children will decide. At the end of the day, the home is made up of some fundamental beliefs. So which are going to be your fundamental beliefs? Is it the cultural? Perhaps one is a cultural African who goes to pray in the mountain, and you don't believe in that whatsoever, and now he's toying around with your children, and so that brings a lot of dissatisfaction in marriage. That's why I say there are fundamental reasons that govern decisions.
Right.
And some of these fundamental reasons, if they're not taken into account early, they end up breaking you. They end up being the reason why some couples are broken up, because you begin to grow parallel. You know, relationships should be joint. Companionship is for joint. But if a lot of things happen, you begin to grow parallel and later segregated.
Okay. Now, Jane, unfortunately, we have come to the end of this conversation.
It is end.
I know, just like that. You know, it usually blows my mind on how fast, you know, time goes, especially when you're having such a productive conversation. But Jane, this is not the last, nor, you know, it's just the beginning of something good. We will continue having more of these conversations. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Asante.
Yeah. Finally, I've had you here. I'm very happy. Right. Right. Thank you so much for watching Morning Vibe. My name is Remmy Majala. And remember, we'll be having Etana right here in studio. For those of you who are big fans of hers, you can tune in and we'll get to know more about what she's been up to, you know, how she feels about the country. She's already said a bit about that. And of course, she'll sing some of her songs which are very popular right here. Remember, she'll be performing on the 7th of December at Gong Road, or on Gong Road at the Dome. Right, I'm Remmy Majala. We'll see you again tomorrow. It's a wrap.